Good looking now, G.
Everybody ever tell you that it makes you beautiful, beautiful.
You're so
Everybody ever tell you
beautiful,
that God made you beautiful, beautiful.
hey there, excuse me, miss. No disrespect, you're very precious.
Hello everyone, welcome to The Hype. Today we're going to be highlighting our Sile Sister of the Season. Too often the youth of the world today believe that they aren't capable of doing profound things because so many times all they hear is no. Well, today we're going to be talking to a young lady who proves that the youth are capable of doing amazing things despite their age. By using her talent with words, she causes other people to look deeper within themselves and who they want to be. Joining us for our discussion is feminist poet and member of the Philadelphia Youth Poetry Movement, Ms. Hiwot Adilow. Stay tuned, The Hype begins right after this.
Calling all music artists from around the world, here's your opportunity to have your music featured on The Hype. We are looking for respectful hip-hop artists. R&B, soul, pop, dance, rock, and inspirational. All you have to do is send us 6 songs in MP3 format, 6 professional pictures, 1 music video if you have one, and a bio of the artist or group. For more info, visit silephilly.com. If you're an African American girl between the ages of 14 and 18 and you'd like to participate in our workshops, please visit our website on the screen.
I think usually it's because they let people push them over because of the love they supposedly have for somebody, but it's not really love. You just let somebody keep doing it and doing it after they keep telling you they love you and just that and the third. Like, it's not reasonable. There's no reason behind it whatsoever.
Well, the first thing I think is because of love. I think, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship, it's kind of hard to get yourself out of. So therefore, they stay and deal with the bull crap, rather than leave and go somewhere else. Whether it's if it's a short-term relationship, it'll be easier to get out of. So.
I'm Al Butler from 900 AM WURD.
I'm Charisma McElwain from the CW Philly.
Hey, what's up? This is Kyla Pratt.
Hey, what's up? I'm O'Shea Loren from 100.3 WRNB, and you are watching The Hype.
You're watching The Hype.
And you're watching The Hype.
You're watching The Hype, TV for, by, and about young women on Comcast Channel 66, Philly Cam.
It's the girls' night out and we're dressed to kill, but it's way too late to order a meal. Everybody's getting restless, patience kind of
Welcome everybody. Will please give it up for DJ 007 who's spinning music from local Philly artists. Our Hype Squad includes my co-host Ms. Saran and Erica Lynn, who is going to be taking questions from our audience. Later on, we're going to be hearing from Blush, who's going to give us a current event update. But now we're going to go to our guest here, Ms. Hiwot. How are you?
I'm wonderful.
Awesome,
Thank you
awesome.
for having me here.
So tell us about yourself. How did you get into poetry?
Well, I've been writing for as long as I can remember, but really just writing for school. I started going to the Philly Youth Poetry Movement around 3 years ago.
Okay.
A friend took me to a poetry slam, and then I found out about their free workshops, and every Saturday I go there, and just spending more time with them got me integrated into the program.
So have you always been interested in poetry, or was it something that just came out of, nowhere? Or you get what I'm saying?
I've always been interested in some type of art.
Okay.
I never imagined that I would end up writing poems and being on YouTube and having fans and stuff like that. But I've always been interested in kind of giving myself answers for different questions that I have in life. And just, I like reading a lot, and I think that has a lot to do with people who write. A lot of the writers I know love reading.
Right.
Wow, so that's really powerful. You said you find the answers in your poetry. So why is that why it's important to you? Tell us why poetry is important to you.
Poetry is important to me because a lot of the time, especially like as a young black woman in Philadelphia, just in the world in general, you don't really see yourself represented in a lot of places. So I know that for me, I write the things that I wish I would have been able to read earlier on in life, and things that I feel like might potentially help other people. A lot of people, we talk a lot about writing for other people and telling other people's stories in PYPM, but I know personally, like when I started writing for a lot of selfish reasons, just wanting, you know, to feel at home and give myself some comfort for whatever reasons. But I think that writing is important because not only do you help encourage yourself and you get to like see whatever's going on in your head because it's on paper now, but someone can come back and read that or listen to it and find answers for themselves.
Okay, so you mentioned earlier how you have fans who like you on YouTube and stuff. So how do you take the responsibility of inspiring others? How do you take that?
At first, I was really reluctant. I think I was shocked when I heard someone get hype when they met me. I don't know. I just think I'm a regular person. I am pretty regular.
Did you expect to have that type of impact on others with your words?
I didn't expect it, but I was taken aback a little bit. But I acknowledged the kind of responsibility that it was, and it feels good to be a role model. So just trying to figure out ways to, you know, like respect that place that I'm in. And I think the thing that propelled me and put me into that position was like being part of the Philly Youth Poetry Movement. And then whenever like a new wave of kids would come, they would notice that people were in different positions, just feeling more comfortable because we had been there longer. And I think because I've been part of the Philly Youth Poetry Movement for 3 years now, giving people some information, like things that I've learned, pointers that I know from slamming for such a long time, or just, you know, having had the opportunity to travel and meet different poets and just like sharing what I know with people is really important.
Right, wow. All right, so I know the audience has some questions they want to ask, so we're going to turn it over to Miss Erica Lynn, who's going to get some audience questions.
Hi, what's your name?
My name is Priscilla.
Okay, and what's your question?
I wanted to know who you look up to in the poetry community.
Who do I look up to? My main inspirations are definitely the people that I know, the people that I work with. I coach my school's poetry team, and all of the people who look up to me, who I coach, I am inspired by them all the time. A lot of my friends, my teammates from the 2012 PYPM Slam team, I'm constantly inspired by them. And I don't know, I feel like I find poetry in a lot of aspects of my life. Even when reading essays, I feel like, oh, that looks like a poem right there. So, yeah.
All right, hi, what's your name?
Shania.
And what question do you have?
I just want to know what kinds of things inspire you to write some of your poetry?
I'm inspired by, I think a lot. So I'm a very introspective person. I'm always wondering like why things have to be the way they are, or just I'm interested in the way that people relate to one another and how we're impacted by history. I write a lot about my identity. I write a lot about, my parents are immigrants from Ethiopia, so I write a lot about culture clash and just also the whole like good girl, bad girl dichotomy. I think that it's very important to question things that we are like forced to accept in society, and always wonder, you know, why is it that women have to be seen a certain way? And because we're all very much so complex people, and we have to accept those complexities. So that's like something that I find really important to write about.
Hi, what's your name?
Shannon.
And what question do you have?
What kind of advice would you give somebody if they wanted to start writing poetry?
I think there are a lot of things that you do, that we kind of do to ourselves that might kind of like cripple our growth. A lot of the struggles that I faced was comparing myself to people, and it's a very thin line between, you know, admiring a person and then comparing yourself to them so much that you start questioning yourself. And growth is a very beautiful thing in that it's different for everyone.
Right.
So I think, you know, just writing as much as you can and not thinking that whatever you write has to be a finished product at that moment. A lot of the time we talk about free writing because we want to write to get free, but also because we don't want to put any constraints on ourselves. And you can always go back and edit, but don't think that something that you write is terrible. Just, you know, have faith in yourself and keep writing and make sure that you're writing for yourself. If you inspire people, that is a wonderful thing, but a lot of the time, especially in competitive poetry, you might see some people who are writing because they want that respect that comes with, you know, scoring high in slams and being able to travel and perform, but you also have to think about like what messages you're putting out there.
Right.
All right, that'll be all the questions. Now back to you, Jess.
Thank you. All right, please stay tuned. We will be right back after this.
You know, I finally come to realize that I really just don't think that you was ready for what I was ready for. Now tell me, why is it so hard for me and you to pledge and promise to make this fairy tale come true? When we started this love affair, dedication, conversation, we embraced that we would see this through. Life's desires was always ready, willing to help us to make the right decision. So we could see that honesty was all I wanted when I said I do, but you weren't committed to me and you. I gave you so much of me. I gave you so much. Loving every ounce of what this could be. But because you wasn't ready to explore all the possibilities, I came to see that you ain't ready. Ain't ready for me, that you ain't ready. You ain't ready. Time that I invested, that you were having sense only for me.
Welcome back. We're back here with Hiwot Adilow, and we're going to continue asking her some more questions.
Yes, so Hiwot, before we went to break, I heard you say all these amazing things about how poetry has made you question the things around you and question stereotypes. How has it changed the way you look at yourself and who you are in society?
I think that, unfortunately, we always think that you have to stay a specific way. And especially, I've been in Philly my whole life. I grew up here, I was born here, and we have this whole thing where like we don't like frauds, we don't like people who change, but life is about changing, and life is about, you know, evolving as a person. And I think through poetry, and not only just writing, but just the communities that I've built and the people that I've met, I found out that, you know, identity and just the way you view things is a lot more fluid than the way we think about it. And that's something that I've begun to accept through my writing. That just because I look at something in one way doesn't mean that I'm going to look at it the same way tomorrow. I might experience something that might make me change my ideas about that. But also that you have aspects of your identity that might seem like they clash, but you're still, you know, a whole person, and all the parts of you make you who you are. So that's something that I kind of embrace about myself now.
Good, good. Okay, so I know that you got an opportunity to go to Las Vegas. Now tell us why you went to Las Vegas and how that happened.
Okay, so I applied to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and they have this really amazing program there called First Wave. It's a hip-hop spoken word poetry scholarship, and it's a program, and through your 4 years at the university, you participate and you create art through that, and you kind of get a chance to try different things. And so I applied to the school hoping to get the scholarship, and they only give it to 15, 16 people a year. And I got a phone call that told me I was accepted into the school, but you have to be accepted before you find out if you got the scholarship. So I didn't know whether or not I got it. And they said, since you're applying for this, please apply for another program. It's like the MC Light Hip Hop Sisters Foundation Award. It's the first year that First Wave and MC Light were working together. And they called me and said, hey, you and one other participant, you and one other applicant, you got an opportunity to come to the Soul Train Awards, and we're going to announce which one of you is going to get the scholarship. So we both went there. I didn't know who this girl was, and we were really nervous. On like the second night we met each other, and we were like, whoa, wouldn't it be crazy if they gave it to both of us? And they did give it to both of us.
Oh, congratulations.
So,
Yay. You have me on that. I was like, did she get it? Did she get it?
We both got it, and so we will be joining, 14 other people as part of the 7th cohort of First Wave.
Okay, that's great. That's
so
awesome.
All the work, did you feel like it was work? Was it not work? Was it just a way to express yourself? Getting the scholarship was, you know, it was an award for the poetry, but do you feel like it was something that, you know, you deserved for your work, or were you just glad that you could be rewarded for something you love to do?
I definitely, I don't know how I feel about it. I really appreciate it. I think that my mom has asked me all the time, like when I first started getting into poetry and started spending more time with PYPM, my mom was always saying, what is this for? What are you, you know, what is this going to bring for you? And I never had an answer, but I always knew like something good was going to come out of me investing so much time in something that I enjoyed. And even if nothing good came out of it, it was something that I really enjoyed doing. So I feel like, I don't know if it's necessarily a reward as much as it is encouragement to do better. I feel like part of the reason why I applied to First Wave is because I knew that I was going to be asked to challenge myself and to, you know, delve into different aspects of performance art. And that's something that I really wanted to take advantage of.
That's good. That's good. All right. So now we're going to get some more audience questions from Miss Erica Lynn.
Hi. So you just spoke a lot about college and, you know, the fact that you just got this scholarship. What are your career goals? How far do you plan to take your poetry?
Career goals. That is a good question.
We know you're in high school,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's a big question to ask. But yeah, so what do you aspire?
Well, I was at a workshop earlier, and I kind of let it slip in that I have this one goal that I want someone to academically cite me. like a really nerdy goal. Like if
No.
somebody's writing a paper, I want them to use me as a source.
I love it.
But I'm interested in sociology. The good thing about First Wave is that you can major in whatever you want to major in. I applied to college undecided, and I might end up choosing something totally different. But right now, my interests are in sociology, Africana studies, and journalism. I really don't know what I want to do as a career choice, but I know that I want to inspire people, and I want to make people from communities where they feel like they might be alone. I want them to know that, you know, their experiences are valid, and that, I don't know, I just want people to know that there are different ways to relate to the world, and that all of those different ways are okay.
Okay, good.
So earlier you spoke about how you were a feminist. What exactly is a feminist for viewers that may not exactly know what it is?
I just did a workshop about this earlier. I find that sometimes I wonder whether or not I'm like worthy enough to call myself a feminist, or if a feminist is like the exact like right word that I want to use. But at least my feminism personally, it's about respecting that, you know, womanhood and femininity, and just living life is different for women of different backgrounds and all over the world. And I think that it's very important to know that empowerment for me and empowerment for you or for another woman somewhere else looks totally different, but they're all okay. And I just want, for me, feminism is about abolishing the patriarchy, which basically means just like, instead of living in a world that's very male-centered and focused on men and everything that makes men happy and everything that will propel men. I love men, but just like everything that is like for men, this is a world where we have people who aren't men. We have people who are of different backgrounds, and just letting them know that this intersectionality, all the like blending and the mixing of our identities is important and very, like, valid. I care a lot about letting people know that basically your life is valid.
Right, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Now back to you, Jess.
All right, thank you, Hiwot. All right, so now we're gonna take another break, and before we leave, we're just gonna tell you to stay in tune for our current events with Bless. Stay tuned. Have you ever been the reason why your relationship didn't work?
Yes, I have.
Okay, why? How's that?
Temptation. Temptation is crazy. Cheating. A few times. Not cheater lady, just a few times though. Because I play basketball, I get a lot of things.
You get a lot of attention?
Yeah.
And so you take it?
Sometimes. No, I don't. I turned over a new leaf.
You turned over a new leaf. Okay. Thank you, Brent.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Marshall, have you ever been the reason why your relationship didn't work?
Yes.
How so?
Maybe because I wasn't flexible with the person's schedule or how they felt.
Have you ever been the reason why a relationship didn't work?
Yes. The reason being I'm a strong-willed person, and the other side, they've been more introverted people, and they weren't as outgoing as I am. And really, they just saw that maybe I was intimidating towards them, and may have been either shy, jealous, scared, or not able to want to even commit to making themselves better, to change their education level, whatever it is to take, to make them a better person. And me not wanting to change who I am and not wanting to change who they are, because it's choice. Life is choice, and that they have to make their own choice like I made my own choice. And that's why sometimes I'm the reason why, and I accept it, and I say, well, you're not the person for me.
You're watching The Hype, TV for, by, and about young women on Comcast Channel 66, Philly Cam.
As I prepared actually for today's segment,
We've been seeing a change in weather, and I've thought about how I let seasonal changes dictate to me whether or not I need to make changes in my life. And with that, I've been thinking about what it means to be a lady. And I've thought about women like the older women you see at church. I've thought about women who are active in their careers in business. I thought about passionate teachers. I even thought about women who do work that's a little less glamorous, but they do it with pride and with integrity. And then I thought about young sisters who have goals and who are able to be assertive without being harsh. The women who frankly know how to get their points across without being loud or stringing together a series of cuss words. You know, the women that you know who say what they mean without cutting off their noses to spite their faces. The women who know how to be confident and how to be brash without being half naked. And then I thought about the fact that those kinds of images are probably what makes some people think you can't be a lady without having money or without keeping it real. And that's just not true. You simply can't buy what it takes to be a lady. You have to cultivate that. It's this notion of who you are versus who you like to be and where you bridge the gap to fill that in. So I think as we think about that, I think one of the best examples in today's music industry actually is Mary J. Blige. She grew up from, let's say, I don't know how poor her family was, but she didn't come from a silver spoon kind of background. By the same token, she's had to overcome a drug addiction. So the MJB that we see, at least the one that's on stage, is not where it started. She had to start that in her mind. She had to cultivate that. So what I'd like you to do is to consider to take the same journey with me when the seasons change and think about the woman that you like to be, to design her in your mind, if you will, and work toward building her. Thank you.
Now, I would like to thank our DJ 007 and our special guest, Hiwot Adilow. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to learn more about the music you heard today, if you would like to be a member of our studio audience, or if you would like to learn more about our Healthy Lifestyles Workshop, CLAY, please visit us on clayphilly.com. I am Jessica Charles, your host, and for Erica Lynn, Saran, Blush, and the whole Hype Squad, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Good looking now, G.
Disrespect, you're very precious. Please tell me what's your name. You're a precious gem and God's to blame. No, I'm not trying to spit the game, cause it's your soul I'm trying to claim. You probably never heard of this. A love affair without a kiss. All the diamonds in the world could never amount to your value.